Hello everyone, this is CMA Karthik. Today let us analyze the subject direct tax, which is paper number 15 of CMA Final Group 3. This video is going to be a bit lengthy because I am going to discuss all the points, all the mistakes that I have committed while I was preparing the subject. Okay, now let us start the analysis. Primarily, direct tax is divided into two parts. 60% goes for direct tax, 40% goes for international taxation. Direct tax contains 12 chapters, international contains 3 chapters. And in this video, whenever I mention chapter name or chapter number, that is with reference to our institute study material. You can find the names of these chapters in our institute study material index. To tackle a subject like DT, first we should know the study plan, how we should approach the subject, what chapters are important, and how we categorize them. I have divided the chapters in this subject into 4 categories: A plus, A, B, and C categories. The first one is A plus category. In A plus category, there are 5 topics. Chapter 1, which is assessment of various entities, which includes company, trust, individual, as well as non-resident taxation. That is also a very important topic. Next, chapter 12, which is double tax avoidance agreement, which includes methods and some theory. Theory like conditions of section 91, like that. Chapter 13, which is transfer pricing, an extremely important topic. It contains the ALP computation methods as well as some important theory. I'll discuss about transfer pricing in the later part of this video. Next, chapter 5, which is business restructuring. Apart from this, some CA inter or CMA inter topics like TDS TCS, income from other sources, PGBP and capital gains basics, deductions, setup and carry forward. Our syllabus does not have CA inter or CMA inter topics, then why we should prepare this? Even though they are not there in our syllabus, they are being continuously asked in the exam. A straight 8 marks question from TDS TCS or some other topic from inter syllabus is being asked in the exam. Does it mean that we should study the entire inter syllabus? No. These are the topics that are mostly repeated in our exams. So these 5 topics are A plus category. Pause the video and please note down these topics in your book. Now let's go to A category topics. A category topics include chapter number 2.1, which is return of income, 2.2, which is dispute resolution panel, 2.3, which is interest, that is 234 ABC sections, 2.4 such survey and seizure, 3.1 appeals revisions, chapter number 6 tax planning and management, and chapter number 8 equalization levy. These A category topics are very easy. They can be finished very quickly. And also there is no much logic in these topics. Only we need to memorize some stuff in these topics. While A plus category topics are also easy, but we require some guidance for these topics. So these are the A category topics. Now come to B category, 3.2, which is advanced ruling, 4 penalties and prosecution, chapter number 9 ICDS, chapter number 10 black money, and C category is chapter 7 CBDT and IT authorities, and also another topic 2.5, chapter number 2.5, which is collection and recovery. These are the B and C category topics. Now A plus category alone will be around 60 marks and A category topics will be around 30 marks. So these are the topics in the syllabus and the segregation thereof. Now I will be discussing some special points that we need to take care of while preparing the subject. The special points. While you are preparing this subject, please prepare your notes. It is impossible to refer the whole textbook or whole material that you are following within half day or 1.5 day before the exam. So please try to prepare a short notes. If you cannot prepare notes for all the topics, at least prepare for A plus category topics. Second, do not leave any topics in A plus and A category which I have mentioned above. That does not mean we should leave B and C also, but give first priority to A plus and A category topics. Do not leave even a single topic out of them. DT being a very vast subject, question can come from any corner of the topic. So do not leave any topic in A plus and A category. Next, let us talk about DTAA. While we are preparing for DTAA chapter, most of us will focus on sums. But apart from sums, there are little theory topics that are being asked in the exam. Theory topics like section 91 conditions, what are the different methods for calculating the double tax, and also some MCQ questions like what type of method does India follow, like that. So focus a bit on theory as well. Now come to transfer pricing topic. While preparing this chapter, I am sure 90% of us will focus only on the ALP methods. Guys, Transfer pricing topic is not restricted to only ALP methods. In the exam, institute is focusing more on the theory part as well. You will be shocked to know there are so many important theory topics in this chapter. It is so important that I have mentioned each and every important theory topic in that chapter. Please make a note of it. APA, Advanced Pricing Agreement, Thin Capitalization, Associated Enterprise Definition, Section 92BA, what are primary adjustments, what is secondary adjustment, 94A, Notified Jurisdictional Area, 94B, Limitation of Interest Deduction, reference to be made to Transfer Pricing Officer, as well as 94D, Maintenance of Books. Do not leave these theory topics. They are being equally tested for 8 marks or 6 marks in the exam. Now, coming to intertopics. At the starting of this video, I have already mentioned what are the important intermediate topics that we should refer. While preparing, do not go deep into the intermediate topics. For chapters like TDS and TCS, remember the section number, the rate, and the provision. And in the case of heavy topics like PGBP and capital gains, focus more on the adjustments and the basics. And in case of capital gains, do not leave exemptions. Apart from the above mentioned topics, if in case any other topic is being asked in the exam, especially from intermediate level, do not leave the topic. Let us try to attempt. So my point is, do not leave that question thinking that, oh, I did not prepare this topic. Next, while preparing a big subject like DT, we should understand what are the topics we should do self-study, and then what are the topics that we should refer YouTube. All the A category topics that I have mentioned above can be completed by self-study. And all the A plus category that I have mentioned above, they must be referred because they are a bit complicated. It is 100% advisable to listen in a YouTube video. Because in my opinion, we cannot interpret what the provision is saying just by self-study. So those A plus category topics should be referred. Next is case study. In the exam, there will definitely be one question which is a case study. It might be either a part of the question for 8 marks or a complete 16 mark question. Remember this guys, for case study we do not require any separate preparation. Case study will be completely dependent on the provisions that we have studied. Just the framing of the question will be different. If in case we are left with no choice but to attempt the case study question, do not hesitate in attempting that question. Read the question and understand what provision is being asked and write whatever you know about the provision, but in a detailed and a constructed manner. That is provision, facts and conclusion. In provision you write whatever provision that is being asked in the question. Facts, just write in a point wise what the question is, and conclusion, just apply the provision and write it in your own language, but make sure it is a bit professional. This way we can at least score half of the marks. So the next point is MCQ. For MCQ we do not require any separate preparation. The subject we have studied is sufficient for MCQs. Apart from that, there is one MCQ PDF which is released by the institute. Next, the new tax regime is now the default tax regime. Focus more on that. While you are reading the question, carefully identify whether the SSE is opting for 115 BAC or BAB, whatever the case may be, and use the applicable tax rates. Next, amendments. Amendments. Do refer amendments. Amendments are being asked especially in MCQ, so do not ignore amendments. For a subject like direct tax, irrespective of how good we are with the provision, we might face a difficulty in applying the provision. So my point is, rather than focusing more on the provision, our focus should be more on the question. Our approach should be more like question oriented. I'll explain this properly. My style of preparation was, I used to read the provision and then I used to go to the relevant question. And that is how I used to understand, okay, so this is a provision, and if the question is asked like this, the provision is applied in this way. In that way, I used to get more clarity about the provision. So these are the special points. Now let us go to the resources part. For the conceptual part, there are multiple resources. First one is BCCA Marathon by CA Bhaskar sir. In this marathon, all the concepts are covered properly. If not for BCCA Marathon, then we can refer Banwar Barona sir videos, or we can refer ATUL AGARWAL sir videos. Though these two videos are for CA final, the syllabus is almost same. In fact, the coverage is more in these two resources. So you can refer any of these resources. Earlier I mentioned to focus more on the adjustments of PGBP, right? For that I have an idea. Some lecturers on YouTube have uploaded a single video wherein all the adjustments in PGBP are covered in a single problem. For Telugu people, you can follow DEVANSH Institute's video. I think the title of the video is PGBP all-in-one adjustment video. And for Hindi people, just go to YouTube and type PGBP all-in-one adjustment problem. then you will be getting enough resources. While we are understanding the concept, another important thing that I have mentioned is notes. So for notes part, Atul Agarwal sir's concept book. That concept book is 100% sufficient for our notes. It is even better if you prepare your own notes. If in case you cannot prepare your notes, then you can blindly follow Atul Agarwal sir's concept book. But there is a small problem. Since that book is for CA final, the chapter names and chapter numbers will be slightly different. If you can match that, then this book is sufficient for you. Also in this video, I have mentioned that our approach for DT should be more of question oriented. For that, we need a proper question bank. So for question bank, you can refer BCCA question bank, which is available in our Telegram channel. In this question bank, all the study material questions, all the MTP questions and the previous questions are covered. So you can refer BCCA's question bank. And for MCQs, I have already mentioned the MCQ PDF which is released by the institute. This is also uploaded in our Telegram channel. You can find it from there. So these are the resources that we can follow for direct tax. Remember guys, while preparing direct tax, do not get tensed looking towards the huge syllabus. If we can break down the syllabus into multiple parts and plan our preparation accordingly, then we can cover the subject easily. And also remember, direct tax requires continuous practice. Remember, if we are successful in drafting a proper plan, then we are 50% successful. The other 50% is just implementing the plan. So this is the video for direct tax. All the best. Thank you.